Before moving forward, let me put something in context. Inqulab clear PMP with all above targets. Inqulab, how many weeks back?
That is like exactly 3 months, like March end.
He
March end.
cleared PMP exam 3 months back with all above target. Then he decided, I have worked very hard for PMP. Now I am not doing any kind of certifications. But after a month of break, he found that actually I have some extra time. Why not to utilize it? So he has been talking to me, going back and forth, what to do, what to do. Should I do PMI ACP? In the meantime, I did DA ASM, DA SSM. So he was like mixed which certification I should do. So we had a discussion and we finalized PMI ACP is the way. And today, it's my great privilege to tell all of you, he cleared PMI ACP with all above target. So Inqulab, first of all, congratulations for clearing PMI ACP from the entire Agile community.
Thank you, Amir sir, and thank you for having me here.
So Inqulab, why don't you share basically how your journey of PMI ACP, which material is utilized? Because we have been recording a lot of PMP journeys. We had like 4 to 5 risk journeys. But apart from me, I think, and that was in January, I did in January ACP, we had no student. So I would say, why don't you share what material you utilized, how you prepared, all those things? You
Yeah,
have already recorded a PMP journey.
yeah, sure. So, first of all, I'll let you know that my study plan was for 6 weeks. So I studied exactly 6 weeks from today. And I started with Joseph Philip Udemy course. Okay. And I completed that course. And then I went on to do another course, which was from Andrew Ramdale. And you know how much I like him since my PMP days. So I did not wanted to miss going through his course while studying for this exam. So I went ahead and finished his course. And then I went back and I gave the test in Joseph Philip course, and then I gave another test in Andrew Ramdale. So, and with Joseph Philip course, I was pretty much close to passing mark. It was 77%. In Andrew Ramdale's course, I scored 85%. Okay. Then the third thing which I used for the preparation was Mike Griffith books, right? And like in and out, like how was my journey. So when I spoke to you, you suggested that I should go ahead with Mike Griffith, and if I get time, I should also go through the First Head Agile book. Okay, so I have both these books. I started with Mike Griffith, and Mike Griffith is like amazing. It builds such a strong foundation of Agile. I would suggest to anyone, even if you don't know anything about Agile, and you want to give this exam, and then Mike Griffith is like, it will build a strong foundation for you for this exam. Okay, so I went through that. Then I went through that, and then I started giving tests. So I started giving tests. So I had Wagdi's 4 tests. Then I had 2 tests I already gave by that time from Joseph Philip and Udemy. And there was and 1 test in Head First Agile and another one in Wagdi's. That PMP course, there is a Agile test. So I gave all these tests, and I was
So you also took Workday course?
no, I did not take Wagdi course, just the test,
Okay.
just the mock test. Okay, mock test, and I referred his PMI ACP notes, which are like 20 pages document. Those are really good. So those are really. I studied once when I was giving his test, and second time I studied on the last day before my exam. So those are like,
Last day before the exam. So
yeah,
you put that thing of such a high value that you did that on the last day of exam. Like
Exactly,
that's
exactly. So after I finished all my mock, I think last 5 days I did not do any mocks. I was continuously reading, and while these notes were in my list for the last day. So in the last day, I did three things, which is yesterday. I read Wagdi's notes. Then I went through all the section summary from Joseph Philip course, and I did the exam section review from Andrew's course. So these were the three things which I did yesterday. And then yesterday evening, like around 6, I shut down my books and I said, yes, I'm not going to study anymore. I'll
that's
stop.
it. I have done what I can do. No
Yeah.
more, nothing else.
Yeah, but
Okay.
nothing is going to, the outcome is not going to change. So whatever I do, but I was pretty much prepared. I
You
knew.
have been preparing for last 6 weeks, so
Yeah.
you were pretty sure that everything which you could have done.
Yes.
Because let me just count the mocks for Pepcast,
Yes.
for Vagde has four, no? For
Yes.
Vagde, one Andrew Ramdayal,
What?
nine,
Philip.
one Joseph Philip, 10,
Yeah.
then one for head first, 11, and
Yes.
then head first and those part mocks. So normally you did 12 to 13 mocks, give or take, right?
Total 14. So head first, and then one mock from this PMP course, that Agile mock. I did that as well. You remember we spoke, and I did those two, like head first Agile and PMP course. And I also did two more mocks from Joseph Philip. So it is available on Udemy. There's Joseph Philip, and there is some another writer who has prepared these. And these are like two mocks in that package. And it was like last updated 2018. So since I had that through my office account, I just utilized those. I said, okay, let me do these two as well. So I did those two also.
Inqulab, you had a lucky thing that you had something from your office account and you can actually buy more mocks, whatever you want to say. Like you were buying Workday mocks, Workday was actually I
Yeah,
speak
actually, these mocks were not on my office account, but you remember last time when
specifically
uh,
recommended that.
you
So
recommended, so I went ahead and bought it, and I bought it long time back. But since I had health issues, I had to push this plan by a month. So those were like with me for a long time.
okay, that is a good thing. Now let's just put in the context.
Mhm.
Now you did so many mocks. How was the exam?
Yeah, so exam was definitely
You did
scenario.
in home. You did in home, right?
Right, right. Yes, I did
Yes.
from home and online, and my exam was like 5:30 a.m. local time here in the morning. I checked in at 5 a.m. It was very smooth, absolutely smooth. Like I checked in, and within a couple of minutes, the proctor pinged me. Then they followed the routine process of checking my room, and by 5:15, my exam, like I started my exam all after completing all the tutorials and survey and all those. So it was very smooth, and even before time, I started my exam like 5:15, and I finished at 8:15 exact, 3 hours. Yeah, so
So
I did
how much time the exam gave you total?
3 hours. So
Three
total is
hours.
3 hours. Yeah, with no break. That is important. I wish I could have break after 6 to
Okay. So in ACP exam, you have no break.
correct. Yeah. So no
Bec-
break, and I wish I can give this feedback to PMI. I think it will definitely add value if they start a break just like what they have in PMP. Like
But
you,
it's only 120 questions.
yeah, but still, if you get a break in 60 minutes, I think those 10 minutes play a very important role.
So
You
did you wrote that in survey? Because you can give actually survey at the end of it. So did you wrote that in survey?
No, in the survey I did not write. In the
At
yeah,
at
yeah,
that time you are
I
so
was
busy. Yeah, I want to clear the exam. I
trying to
want to
finish
see.
everything.
You never write.
Yeah,
I know. I
excitement.
understand.
Yeah, in
I
excitement
understand.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand the feeling. At that time, you just want to end that thing. You don't have time for that thing. I totally agree with you.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So in club, so exam was like you completed exam in how much time? It was 3 hours. You completed in how much
Yeah,
time?
so it was 3 hours. I completed 25 minutes before. Okay. and 25 minutes before, and I had marked many questions. But I think out of those marked questions or flag questions, I changed five. I changed my answer for 5 questions. Okay. But it was very quick. Like I had 25 minutes. I was just scanning through all the flagged questions. So I completed my first 60 questions in 80 minutes. No, sorry, 100 minutes. Okay. Yeah, 100 minutes. And then I was left with 25 minutes in the second half. So second half, I increased my speed. I was kind of going very slow in my first half. Then I realized that I have took a lot of time. I have to pick up, and I also need to give myself some time, at least 10-15 minutes, to look into few questions which I really wanted to go through. There were like first 10 questions which I had flagged. So then I increased the speed, and 25 minutes before I finished my exam.
25 minutes before you finish your exam.
Yeah.
Okay. So in club, how the questions were structured? Were they like more of a situational questions? Are they asking about something in direct, or they were how the questions were basically?
Yeah, so questions were, yeah, definitely all scenario based. I would say pattern between PMI and PMP is not much different. Yes, just the intensity level, and again, it could be very subjective because like I have been in Agile and I'm reading this, and how much is my level of knowledge? So maybe I am seeing that this is much easier than PMP, but for a person who has not gone through an Agile or Agile methodology, he may find it difficult. Okay,
Yeah,
so
let me put more context on that. When Inqulab joined basically my PMPs, he had no idea about that when he joined PMP. But when we studied Agile, he had more idea than me. So let me put that in the right context. So if he is saying it was a difficult, so I am worried about that. So
yeah.
all the questions were situational. So how like we know Agile is mostly Scrum. So how much exam was mostly Scrum, and how much the exam were mostly
Yeah,
product?
so I would say, and that is what I found it very strange. Very few questions they mentioned like sprint. Okay, there were very few questions, like I can say less than 10. Okay, but all the questions were more of like agile as a whole. Okay, they continue to say iteration, product owner, agile leader, agile lead, agile coach, okay, agile project manager, development team. They continue to use these terms. Okay, so I was expecting that they will focus like on specific things like Kanban, XP, or Scrum, and it will be very different. Like if I see a Scrum question, I'll quickly able to differentiate that. But that was not very common. Okay, I can remember there was only one question for Kanban, for and Scrum terminologies were used, I would say less than 10, like between 5 and 8, if I recall correctly. Rest everything was they continued to use the generic term and keep you giving scenarios. So more of
Okay.
stakeholder management, team performance, and agile value delivery, and those kind of concept, and um, continuous improvement. It came in a generic way, so you really cannot say that specific to Scrum or XP or Kanban
Okay.
or Lean. It was very peculiar that, okay, I can say, oh, I got 50 questions on Scrum. It was not like that.
Okay. I really like that you are not gonna read Mike Griff another book. Mike Griff is considered as like more of a father of PMI ACP, if I'm not wrong. So you have read Mike Griff book, you have read other things. So what do you recommend if someone wants to do PMI ACP in 1 week? I'm a big fan. We have helped so many students to do PMP in 1 week, and I did ACP actually in 1 week. You remember that I started on 1st of January and I cleared on 7th. I'm not talking about myself because I'm always doing MCQs. So my mind is wired on that. So let me put aside as a general, if I put your entire journey in 1 week, and one I say 1 week, I mean 4 to 6 hours daily. So what do you say? What
Yeah. So
time
see,
can
1 week, I'm not sure. Again, it depends person to person. Okay. Because if someone has to read Mike Griffith book, that itself will take more than a week to read completely, even if
okay,
you spend 4 to 6 hours. Okay.
okay,
And then on top of that, you have to do mock exams,
hmm,
right? Even if I take an average of daily one mock,
hmm,
so if a person does like 8 to 10 mocks, that is like another week. Okay,
hmm.
that will be like minimum. And
No, no, Anklab, I agree with what you are saying. I 100% agree. But I want to make it small. Let's compress it. So, I like to simplify, and I'm more agile person, you are a more productive person in reality. So let's compress it. Okay, we want to read one book. So Mike Griff book
yes,
or
my
head first.
yeah, my Griffith book is. I did not read Headfirst Agile apart from giving those chapter-wise test and the final test, which is in the end of the book. Because I already read my Griffith and it was enough for me. I didn't see any value that I'm going to learn any new. So my Griffith book covered very well. Okay.
Okay. So for
Uh,
book, my grift is
yeah,
okay.
yes.
Okay. Now we need only 4 mocks. So what 4 mocks you will say a person should do? Four
Prepcast,
mocks. So
prepcast,
four prepcast.
for
Okay.
prepcast.
So the simple way is, in your opinion, do that and buy 4. So for everyone, let me put, because it's been 6 months, let me share my way how I did. I read. I'm a book reader. You can see. I read my Griff's book 2 times. I read like basically I studied 12 or 16 hours a day for 7 days. So because I had a batch of PMP 2021 on 15th, and before that I had to do ACP. I Otherwise I was not good to teach the agile in PMP. So I read 2 times my Grift book. I read 1 time head first. I read 1 time or 2 times PMI ACP book, the PM which
Yeah.
PMI had given. Then I read like 3 times or 4 times Wagday notes. I did 4 Wagday mocks, head first, Mike mocks, and I was able to clear all above target. So this is two framework. I never done Prepcast. It was like $99, and
Yeah.
I
It,
had
it, yeah.
mind, and they didn't have that learning thing which they had in Prepcast in PMP. So I'm not interested to buy that. But
Yeah.
in Club did buy that, and according to him, the my Griff book and 4 Prepcast mocks, you can clear the PMP. Okay,
Yeah.
that is the
And yeah, and I think in Joseph Philip course again, it depends. Like if you have a 4 week plan, then Joseph Philip course goes into much detail. But in Andrew, the best part which I found in Andrew's course was the last section, which is like an exam review section. So he goes into detail with all the domains and the tasks, and he provides explanation for each of the tasks. So that is like really good. And I did like last day, as I said, I did that. I did back the notes and I did the section review from Joseph Philip course.
Okay, Inqulab, apart from the biasing that you have towards more, as he speaks like you, let me put it why he like a lot Andrew Ramdale. Actually, Andrew Ramdale speak just like him, so he really likes him. So apart from that biasing, if you have to choose, if you have to pay to do one course, let's say your friend wants to buy one course, which one you choose? Joseph Philip
Yeah,
or
Joseph Philip goes into more detail. So he goes into more
yeah,
detail.
I took my 21 hours from Joseph Philip and applied there. I also did Joseph Mox. I
Mm.
missed that. So you would go for Joseph Philip course.
Yep, yep. So Joseph Philip course goes into more detail, and I'm saying this because this will apply for any person, not like someone knows agile, right? If someone is want to do exam, want to give an exam, and doesn't know anything about agile, then that is good. Like he goes into more detail.
He goes into more detail.
Yeah.
Okay, in club. Now last minute one advice you have already given us. So one advice that you would like to give to entire PMI agile community. What should they do to pass the exam?
to pass the exam, apart from using these books and courses, I think the most important, there are 2 or 3 things which you need to remember every time throughout those 3 hours. Customer collaboration. Okay, customer collaboration is very important. Servant leadership, which covers your team, how you manage your team, how you work with your team, how you work with your customers. Okay. So customer collaboration, servant leadership, okay, and early delivery to the customers. I think these are the 3 key things which you need to continuously remember during the exam, that how fast you turn around and you provide value to the customers. So those questions will keep on testing you on these things. And obviously, 4 principles and Agile manifesto, that is the whole foundation of this exam. So you need to be like thorough for values and principles, those 12 principles.
Okay. Thank you, Inqulab. Thank you very much. And best of luck. And let's see what other certification we can do, because you have started the sequence of that. But health come first. You know what I mean. Health come first. I'm not gonna help you in any other certification till you get your health back on track.
No. Now my priority is that only. I was just waiting for this exam.
Yeah, now it's done. Now it's done. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna help you till you become physically healthy.
So now this is my next goal, just like PMP and ACP.
Let's do it together. I have also started going back to the treadmill again. I actually go to gym, but I only do treadmill. I have 20-30 minutes. So let's go back to the basics and let's become more healthy, because as saying goes, health is wealth. Nothing is more important.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Inqulab. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.